Just when a caterpillar thought its life was over, it became a butterfly. Today we are going to talk about pain. Pain, which is normally viewed by all of us as having potential to sabotage us. On the contrary, it can transcend us towards path of self-discovery, towards enlightenment and freedom. Today you're going to take this journey with me. I'm Garima and I'm associated with mental health field as a psychologist. Many people complain that they go on living a life like any normal person do. They are engaged in their work, they look after their household chores, and they look after their kids. They go out, have fun with their friends and family. But the moment they are alone, they feel this urge to cry. They feel that there is a lot of pain posted inside. And they go on distracting themselves by either becoming workaholics or either getting too much involved in binge eating, relying excessively on alcohol. But they fail to realize that this is a self sabotaging behavior. This is not a permanent solution, and the problem is this will not remain constricted to this. Some of them may step up to the stage which is called as anhedonia. Anhedonia is a stage which is marked with diminished interest in all the pursuits, activity, and work which was earlier on giving you pleasure and which you were happily involved in. This stage is also marked by a feeling of worthlessness and emptiness. Now, this stage can lead you to the worsening stage, which is called as major depressive disorder, and that's a deep trench. To pull you out of major depressive disorder is difficult for a psychologist or a psychiatrist, and it requires a lot of persuasion, lot of medication and therapy session, and resilience from family members as well as from the client. Now the question arises, we're talking about pain, but where does this pain come from? Over the period of time, over the period of a life, we come across various situations, in anxiety provoking situations and traumatic incidents and embarrassing situations as well as failures which lead us towards path of pain. Also, we tend to have a lot of expectations out of others. We tend to lose our loved ones, our significant others during our lifetime, which gives us immense pain. Now, having a lot of expectations from yourself is the fourth way which we actually give ourselves pain. When we set high standards for ourselves and we are not able to accomplish that, it gives rise to pain in a way that if there is a difference between the idealized self which you think ought to be, must be, and the self which is the real self which you think that actually what you are. So when these two coincide with each other, then you will have you won't have any conflicts and you'll be happy about your life since you're able to achieve whatever you want to. But as the disparity increases, the conflict and the friction within you increases, which gives rise to low self-esteem, feeling of failure, worthlessness, and which actually amounts to pain. Now, when it comes to our physical pain, even a kid would know how to look after it. A kid, if he or she gets a bruise on the knee, would know that it has to be cleaned first, it needs to be bandaged, first aid needs to be given, pain needs to be endured for a few days, we will have sleepless nights maybe, and once that gets diminished, get reduced to a scar, we will get another ointment from the market so that we can diminish that scar as well. Unfortunately, when it comes to getting our pain which is there inside our body, we don't pay attention to it. We tell it to shut up because we are not comfortable with it, and that's what our society has told us, to suppress it and to be strong, not to vent out, not to cry in front of others. But the problem is it is there and it's giving you an uncomfortable life. Now, how to go about it? Now, Kubler-Ross, who was a famous psychologist, has laid down 5 stages where you have to go through each stage in order to resolve your pain or any traumatic incident or any anxiety-provoking incident. The first part of the stage is denial. You basically, try to deny whatever has happened. And second stage is anger. Now, once you know what has happened, you will feel really angry about whatever has happened, whatever has transpired in your life. Third stage is bargaining. Bargaining is marked by shoulds and woulds. It wouldn't have happened if I had done this. It shouldn't have happened. All those woulds and shoulds come in bargaining. Then comes depression, where you accept and where you mourn the happening, and it is basically sad phase of your life. And then comes resolution. Resolution is where you have accepted and mourned it, and now you want to just move on with your life because you've accepted your fate, you have resolved it. Now, these five stages are necessary, but the problem is that most of the people get fixated in one of this. Some of them, remain with denial. Some of them remain in depression. Some of them remain in anger. So, this five stage needs to be passed through in case we want our pain to be fully resolved. Now, how to go about it? Now, I'll suggest to people who have gone through major traumatic incidents in their life, and which they feel that if they will try to self-help themselves, it will lead them to go over edge, and they need professional help to process all that happened. Then I would recommend them to go to therapist and then go through the process. For others who think self-help will do, and here is the process. Process is very simple. It is not rocket science. It is as simple as looking after physical pain. Now, what you need to do about it is that you need to meditate. You need to sit alone in a room. You need to tell your pain that here I am. I would like to look after you, and I would not suppress you now. And you try to read your pain. You try to read what is the cause of that pain. Now, once you go inside you, you would find that there are, on the superficial or the surface level, the consists of all the negative feedback which you've given to yourself, all the negative talk which you go on feeding yourself with would be the surface level. Something like, I'm not good at anything, people don't love me, people are selfish, something of that sort will be on the current picture will be on the surface level. Now, as you go deep down, you will get flash of so many incidents which has happened in your life. Now you have to go through all incidents in totality, meaning that you had lived those incidents in bits and pieces. Now you will go through the incident in totality from the beginning to the end. When you do this, you will oscillate between different emotions. You will be like, you will have a feeling of anger, and then you will jump onto self-pity, then you will jump onto personalization. Personalization is when you start blaming yourself for whatever has happened. You will oscillate between different emotions, and catharsis will happen, which means that you will cry, and which will help you to vent out. Now, this will not happen in one day. You will have to take many days. You can fix some days in a week, or you can go about the process in a month or 2 months' time. Along with the five stage which you've already mentioned to you, another thing which will happen is called as systematic desensitization, in which when you go through one incident over and over again, firstly you will overreact to it. Slowly, steadily, your reaction will move from being overreactive to reactive, and slowly, steadily, you will go on becoming indifferent to that very incident. Now, when you will become indifferent to that incident, you will not attach too much significance to that incident, and then there will happen learning from that incident, learning from the pain. And it's a beautiful scientific process. I have gone through it, my clients have gone through it, and it's a process of self-discovery. Sometimes you think that current problems and scenarios which are you in are responsible for the pain, but when you go deep down in it, you find out that there was something else which was troubling you, some incident which has happened in your childhood, some pattern of thinking which you were sticking to. You will discover a lot of things about you, and which is a beautiful process. And when you will go on uh, getting deep down into it, also you will get some issues from your unconscious level also, because there is a defense mechanism which our body resort to when we face with any traumatic incident or any painful memory. We try to suppress that memory inside us. It is a defense mechanism and it is called as repression. It is our body way of dealing with the anxiety, and it represses it down to our unconscious level. And when you start getting inside you, and you will find a lot of things coming from your unconscious level as well, coming to the surface level, where you will address them and you'll be able to lead a fulfilling life. I'd like to quote a story before I say bye to you. It is during those times when Nazi concentration camps were going on. This girl was standing with her brother outside their house. Their parents had already been taken by Nazi soldiers, and the brother in question was not wearing shoes. And this propelled a lot of anger in the girl, and she started yelling at him, saying that our parents had already gone, and we are here now, and you're not wearing shoes, and in this chilling weather, what will you do? And she was just shouting at him. And moments later, they were both taken at different concentration levels, concentration camps. Now, the girl didn't know what happened to, her brother and her parents. But once she was the one who could come out of concentration camp, and she kind of outlived it. And when she came out, she found out that all her family members are no more. And she went through a lot of pain, and she'd already gone through a lot of pain in concentration camp. And she resolved that she's going to lead a contented life, and whomsoever she will meet in life, she will be pleasant to him or her, because she doesn't know that that could be the last day of her meeting with that person. What a beautiful way of deriving any meaning out of a lot of pain which she had gone through. And I think we should learn something from this story, and we should also try to channelize our pain to make us learn something good in our life. And on that note, I'd like to quote one beautiful quote from Buddhism, which says that pain is shedding of the covering which encompasses deep understanding. And on that note, I'd like to say bye. And in my next video, I'll be covering about emotions, about how to manage your emotion, and about functional behavior. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye and take care.